Good morning. It's your girl, Mika Love, aka Deanna, your face stylist. And sometimes I sit and I wonder, I like making little life videos and just getting on here and talking and stuff. But I oftentimes wonder if it conflicts with the videos that I make for my business because I have my business channel where I do a lot of education on hair and stuff like that. And then I have this channel where I'm just at home chilling or doing whatever. But I don't know. I don't think it matters, but hopefully it won't be something that bites me in my butt one day if something that I share on this channel is learnt by a client and affects, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I want to get on here and talk today about um, being a single mom, which I am not yet. Okay, so my situation is that I went to Jamaica and I started dating this young man, and we got married. And we got pregnant before we got married, but we had already planned to get married, and then we found out that we were pregnant. So it may sound very irresponsible, but I know what I wanted. He knew what he wanted, and we went for it, and we were just willing to take a risk on each other in the sake and name of love, for the sake of love. And so we did it, and so far we've been really happy. It's been really difficult realizing and coming to an understanding about the visa process here in America, especially when it comes to Jamaicans moving here. So because he is Jamaican, eventually he will move because he's Jamaican and because we're married. More than likely, eventually we just have to wait through the waiting period, which currently right now is like 8.5 to 11 months. So he will probably be approved to be here, no later than by the end of the summer. But what that means for me as a young woman here in America, I am pretty much about 9 months pregnant now. I am full term pregnancy. I'm about 36 weeks today. And so, what this means for me is that I will be a single mother at least the first 6 months of my baby's life until my husband gets here. So, I began to sit in the house and I'm like, lately I like to look at videos and stuff like that of what other women go through so that I can learn and get the experience because my mom is not here with me. A lot of older women that are like clients at my hair salon talk to me a lot, but there's only so far into my personal business that I will allow myself to go with a client because I think it begins to get messy once you start to mix your business and your personal together. And sometimes, some women are they overshare some things you just don't need to hear and some things it's not their place to tell you. And I feel like when you overshare your life with your business clients, then it invites them into that facet of your life. And so for that reason, I try to share some things because I am a human being, but I also do a very good job at keeping a lot of my personal stresses and woes and um, just things that other people shouldn't be concerned about or know about to spread your business throughout the community with people all the time because I just want to be on the safe side. So I don't have a lot of women around me that I can share every little detail of every worry that I have. So that means, I don't have I have my stepmom and we do talk and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think it's just not the same as having your own mom around or something like that. And so my mom is not here, and I don't have that super, super intimate motherly figure. Just somebody to really call and depend on. And then sometimes people are busy. So, I don't want to be a burden on people, but I want to learn about the things that I have to do. And I oftentimes don't want to feel like I'm being like I want to talk to people that talk to me like I'm an adult. So sometimes it limits because I like to observe conversations that I'm often a part of and I watch how people respond to me. And I'm a 36-year-old grown woman, business owner, that been through a couple of things in life. So when people respond to me as though I'm a child, I don't say anything. I just stray away from having future conversations with them because I'm like, you don't even respect me as an adult. So I don't even think this is a good conversation to have. So anyway, I started because of those things. I started looking to YouTube because I want to learn from other women's experiences and stuff like that. So don't get me wrong, I do get good advice from the women that are around me. But I look at the women and I'm like, they are so sad. I'm like, damn. I'm looking on the damn videos and I'm like, I researched pregnant and alone just to see what women were talking about and what type of situations they've been going through and how they cope through those situations. And maybe some things would come up that I would have to face as a single mom for a while. And the one thing I'm grateful for is that my husband is not some man that just is about to disappear. Like he's working on getting over here. And a lot of women were with their guy and then he just checked out. And then there's other videos, all of them, like all of these videos are women that have been with men and the men have checked out. They've had military double lives and they got caught up on the bad end of that while they was stationed somewhere. And, there's some women that are just like, I'm not even going to say anything. I just want to be positive because I want to protect my child and I don't want to be negative and I just don't want this. And I get that. And I'm just like, I'm still curious though, like what happened? Why are you by yourself? And so these videos help me to realize how blessed I am. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough being pregnant and being by myself. And by myself, I mean, I had a few close friends. One of them moved away, and one of them has seemed to have gotten a lot more distant since I've gotten pregnant. And I don't know, maybe it could be me being distant as well because I'm pregnant and I'm tired and I don't want to hang out and travel around after I get off of work. I want to come home and sit and I want to come home and relax and I want company, but because I keep a small circle and one of my good friends moved away and then the other one is just more distant, it's like, what can you do about that, right? So I found myself trying to make new friends and acquaintances that are, I don't know, more into mom stuff because they're a mom too. So I've been working on that and trying to get some relationships started with some young women that I know from church. So I'm proactively fixing that. I think we'll see. But I'm also learning to be grateful because there's a lot of people that have snakes in their circles. And I think it's better to have a small circle so you know who your friends are and who they aren't when things shift in your life, as opposed to having a big circle and not knowing who is really for you and a bunch of crazy stuff going on around you and you don't know why it's happening, okay? So I'm just looking at all these videos with these women and I'm like, these ladies are so sad. And I am so grateful for what I have in my life. I know that it could be taken away. For one, I could stop working today if I wanted to because I'm a business owner and I'm the boss. I can just say I'm not working. But because I am the boss and I love my business, I can't let myself do that. I've set myself to stop working 2 weeks before my due date just to be on the safe side. But now that I'm getting closer to the due date, I have about 26 days left before my due date. I am like, whew, it's really getting physically a task to just get myself up out of the bed because of the pressure of this little baby's head on my pelvis. I am popping and, jumping out of joints in places that I did not know existed. It would be very nice to have a husband around while that is going around. Just somebody to help push your big butt up out of the bed. So it literally takes me a good 5 minutes to get out of the bed and I have to move slowly. Um, but I'm blessed because I have my own place. I know some women that have gotten pregnant. I know multiple women, cousins, my sisters, um, that have had babies and not had their own place to stay. I had a 2 bedroom for years before I even got pregnant. As a matter of fact, when I was about to downsize my apartment so that I could start working on having a little bit more income, that was available to start paying off debt. Um, that was when I found out that I was pregnant. And then I also started looking on the market, and 1 bedrooms are just expensive as the 2 bedroom that I got. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to stay right where we at. And so I'm really blessed. I have a very spacious 2 bedroom apartment with a front yard and a backyard for the price of a 1 bedroom in here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm really blessed because although my circumstances have changed and maybe some of my friends have become a little bit more distant or moved away, I think that God has separated me so that I can prepare properly and get my mind right for what is about to happen in my life. Because one thing I did pick up from these videos that I'm watching from women is that people do change when you become a mother. Um, People change for a lot of reasons, but in particular, these videos that I have seen about being a mother, a lot of the women mention losing friends. They don't always say if it's whether a good thing or a bad thing, or you guys just grew apart, but that changes. And even that was a really deep conversation that I really appreciated having with my stepmother, was that when she got pregnant, she and her best friend just didn't, they just grew apart. Their lives took different paths, and it was no hard feelings, you know. I'm very blessed because there's a lot of girls out there that do not have support. And sometimes I find myself complaining because I noticed when I got pregnant, I got a little more needy. And I'm already emotionally needy, but I've learned how to cope with that over the years. And I felt like I've built and connected to my small circle of friends. But like I said, the small circle of friends has kind of dispersed, around about this time that I've gotten pregnant, and even before, because, some moved away, one passed away, one is we just growing apart. And so I don't have that network anymore. And so I found myself wanting my family members to come around more and just stop by the house. Just come show your face. Just come check on me. And, many of them, when I verbalized that to them, were just like, just come by here, man. Like, just come by here. But it's like they don't get it. It's like, I get it. It's probably too much for you to just stop by. But I'm really tired and I just really need a little support. I just want somebody to come and show that they care. Pop up sometimes. It's okay. Like, I literally live by myself. If I'm not at my business, I'm at home. So that happens. And then to some, I expressed, and they seemed to care and seemed to want to stop by, and, made, one or two appearances. And then, they go back to their busy lives because people have goals and ambitions that they want to conquer. And so you can't be mad at them, And so, but I am blessed because I meet so many women that don't even have that. They don't even have where somebody might just stop by or have anybody to ask. And so I'm like, you know what, is a reason this is happening. So it's caused me to, just try to make myself more available to other genuine people that I come across. And I've prayed to God to show me who my new support system is, who I can count on, and things like that. And I have just learned to be positive. There's a young lady on here, and she was speaking about how she copes with being a single mom. And I can relate to this one because she was like, if you wake up in the morning and you spill your cup of coffee and you cussing and dag nabbing it and hating everybody for the rest of the day because of that coffee that you spilled early that morning, then your life is going to be in shambles. You got to stop and smell the roses, and you got to be appreciative, you know? So one thing I will say though is I'm a little afraid, because I swear it's my good friend back in South Carolina that I talk to on the phone all the time says, she's like, I knew you was gonna try to be Mother Nature, Erica Baduish, and have your baby natural, which I really want to do, but I am just like, ugh. The doctor just checked me the other day, and I was like, "This what y'all gonna be doing? That hurts," you know. So I'm like, geez, that was just somebody doing a cervical check. Hell, something 10,000 times bigger than her fingers checking my cervix has got to come out. So I'm really rethinking this natural birth. But as my husband's, saying, he's like, well, you're not ready. Your body's not prepared to have a cervical check, but your body will be prepared to have the baby. So we're going to hope so. More than anything, I think as a single mom, I am fearful of going into labor alone, of being at my house and going into labor, So I think just for that reason, whenever I do start my maternity leave, I don't even think I'm going to be staying the night at home that often. I will be at my dad and my stepmom's house with my needy butt. And I don't even think that's needy. I mean, I am a human being about to push a human being up out of my body. I've never done it before. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm excited to meet my little beautiful bouncing baby boy. But I'm scared to go into labor by myself. Because I just am, and so I've expressed that to some family member, and they're like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. Did you see this commercial on that? Sometimes people take so lightly of things that are so serious to you. You just have to watch who you share stuff with, because some people, life is just a joke, and so I notice those things and I just say, hey, you know what? This is not somebody that I can share with, because they're not there on that maturity level. Everything in life is still a joke right now, even when you're being serious, So these are some things that I've been going through since being pregnant. I think the toughest thing and most disappointing thing while I've had this pregnancy has been just the realization that my husband will not be able to be here when my child is born, simply because the government would not grant us a visitor's visa, because his permanent visa is already pending. And they're like, well, if you go now, you may not come back. You may just try to wait until your other visa goes through. And it's like, so what? That would be perfectly legal if you granted him the visitor's visa for 6 months. But that is something that's out of our control. We don't want to keep pursuing that and paying the $160 every time we go to the counselor when we have this baby on the way, and he's, already sending money to help with the baby. So every time we go down there to pay $160 to get a no, it is like $160 thrown down the drain when I'm about to be on maternity leave. And although I am my own business owner, things are still going to be tight, because I am still a full-time employee within my business. So it's like, and then the babysitter thing. Oh my God. Like, I don't want to send my baby to a babysitter, but it's like, well, where the hell else is he going to go? And everybody's like, oh, just take him to your shop. And it's like, I think I might go crazy if my baby is at the shop while I'm at the shop. But again, I'm blessed. I own my own business, and I can change my hours to accommodate myself and my child. So we're just going to pray through this process. We're going to pray until something happens. We're going to keep pushing and have faith that God is going to work everything out. For you ladies that have put videos out there and sharing your most intimate, most vulnerable sides of yourselves, as a single mom. I appreciate you. Some of your videos have inspired me, and some of your videos have shown me how blessed I am and how I don't have much to complain about. So, you guys have a great day, and I've got to get ready to go to work. I just had some French toast and stuff this morning, and because I'm super slow, like I said, this baby's on my pelvis, it takes me a good while to get dressed, so I better get to it.